Jonathan joins us now on the phone. Jonathan, tell me, where were you and where did you send that first tweet from?
I'm actually just at the office on the internet when I heard a thump, and we said to each other jokingly, "Okay, this is an earthquake," but we quickly found out after that it was actually an air crash, and immediately after that I posted it on Twitter to inform the world actually.
And now your first information, perhaps the first information, has gone right around the world several times. Were you within sight of the airport, your office, as you were saying?
Yeah. Well, immediately after I heard the sound, I went outside, and I can still see the crash site and the remains of the airplane. And
you pass this on to how many people follow your tweets?
I think maybe now almost 1,000, and I've been talking to almost everyone except CNN, I think, and it's really amazing how fast the internet is spreading this news right now. Yeah,
it is extraordinary, isn't it? Well, Jonathan, we'll let you go and continue your day's work or your work with the computer. Let me also show you some other aspects of this. One of the first images of the crash itself was released online. Excuse me. This one coming from a blogger at the scene of the crash themselves, and that was posted online. And then, very quickly, other resources come into play as well. This map was created using the Google Maps application to show exactly where the crash happened, and in particular how close the plane came to hitting a major road. And we're talking about the Twitter. It's interesting how the whole tweeting experience now is using information and how that can gather momentum all of its own as sources then pile more and more information and share it with communities online. Colin?
Martin, thanks very much indeed. Well, just to really amplify on what Martin was saying about the contribution of online observations, some of which will be well informed, some of it obviously not, to the debate on a story like this. We've had some interesting analysis on one particular quite reputable website, and I want to bring in Alistair Rosenshine, who's a former 737 pilot, to either contradict or reflect on, at least on some of the observations, saying the aircraft was in the landing configuration with full slat deployed.
Well, that would indicate that the gear was down and the flaps were in the landing position.
You indicated this as well. The first stage, or you said how important this would be for the investigation, the first stage fan blades of the engine in view have no radial distortion. I'm afraid I have no idea what that means, suggesting little or no rotation at the point of impact.
Well, if one can rely on that, that would suggest that the engine wasn't turning.
No fire does not mean no fuel.
Correct. However, no fire doesn't mean that there was fuel either. It doesn't say either way.
The debris field is quite small. The starboard engine has come to rest only a few metres ahead of the fuselage, suggesting very low forward speed at impact.
Well, you know, there is a minimum forward speed because otherwise the aircraft stalls and it comes down. Well, in fact, yeah, it has in fact impacted the ground. There's no reason to suggest it had stalled, but one can't rule that out.
Eyewitness reports of the aircraft porpoising on final approach are consistent with a deeply stalled aircraft.
Well, if the aircraft was doing anything other than approaching steadily, then that is something one would look into. It's, you know, on an instrument landing system, one can in fact have fluctuations on the glide slope. If the autopilot's left in, the aircraft can in fact chase this. And that can happen when there's an interference with the signal. You know, eyewitness reports, they are what they are. If it's a pilot reporting it, then I would attach more credence to it.
Yeah. There was one report, wasn't that we heard from a local journalist suggesting that some of the fatalities had actually been in the cockpit itself. Obviously, that's unconfirmed at this stage. Let's, if we can, just stay in the realms of the confirmed at this stage. And what we can say with utter conviction is that the airport authorities at Schiphol have said that 9 people have lost their lives as a consequence of this Turkish Airlines Boeing 737-800 crash this morning. The plane was inbound from Istanbul when it crashed 2 miles or so short of the runway at Schiphol, near farm buildings and a major road as well. 50 people have been injured, according to the local mayor, half of whom are severely injured. In total, 135 people were on board this aircraft when it crashed The cause of the crash, according to the airport authorities, is at present unknown. My thanks to Alistair Rosenshine. There's more news coming up in the live desk with